All right, guys, what is going on? What's good? What's good? Hope you guys are having a blessed day today. 23 people on, 10 likes. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. What is good? Hadar, Beverly, Naruto, John C, 2020, Lucas, C Trades, 50K, Zay, Nikki, Alex, piano, drum and bass. Yes, I think that's what you meant to say. I love drum and bass. What's good, Sean? Thank you for that. Hadar, what's good, Lee Bright? What's good, Sharon? Manager? Sharon? I don't know. Good evening. Good evening. Man, I was hoping we would leave those highs for this afternoon for S&P. We didn't. We did not leave those open. What's good, Harmon? We didn't leave them open, dude. We took them. They were taken, my friends. They were taken. So, you know, it pays to wake up on time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the morning was okay, I guess, but the 5-minute here is not all that great, in my opinion. But I would tell you, what's good, Tommy? What's good, Felix? What I would tell you is there's at least a 15-minute imbalance here. And that probably would have been it as far as what I would have trusted. Fractal low, imbalance, consolidation, and equal highs. You know? That's a great target. Now that we've met that, I couldn't tell you what today's going to do. I couldn't tell you. Dow is super weak sauce. I mean, just super weak sauce. Couldn't even make it but halfway back to the consolidation. So if you're longing Dow, good luck to you. Good luck to you. ETF gap down, taking liquidity, and then back to the gap. Well, SPY did. And that's what's interesting, because it's all up candles, which looks weird. Like, this looks weird, right? Because it's up candles and then up candles again. And that's strange. Because there's gaps. What's good, James? Akinola. Man, we got everybody in here today. Well, not everybody, but we got a shit ton of people in here today. I like that. I like that. What's good, Martin? Long GJ from 182.9. You know what's funny about GJ is we'll come back to the indices in just a minute. I do think, because real quick, if we look at EJ, 158 even has very clean highs right here. And I could easily see that be taken. GJ, slightly different story, where earlier in the week, and I talked about this yesterday, and I hardly ever talk about crosses because they're just there's a way to trade crosses very effectively, and a buddy of mine does it. It is, I've taught you guys how to do it, and I can reteach that, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And I guess that's relative to what you think work is, but it's a lot of analysis. On Sunday night, I posted that we had equal highs and then trendline liquidity here. So we did come down for some level of liquidity. And then today we ended up, if we zoom out a little bit, we actually traded below a small set of equal lows from the 4th. And thank you, Big James. Appreciate that. I try to be what my teachers never were to me. You know what I mean? Fucking old geezer hags. Anyway, equal highs. Excuse me, equal lows. I'm sorry, I haven't woken up clearly. Equal lows. Sorry. That ended up being taken a few days later, right? So now, you know, we look at this and we go, okay, well, now we have trendline liquidity going lower. So it's like, okay, people are going to try and short this, and their stops are going to be here, 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 and then definitely the equal highs. And that's easily a 100 pip move for the upside. Easily, that's a 100 pip move on the upside. So, would you say you were 182.9? 182.90. Oh shit, you're long from down here? Dude, fuck. Where was the signal, bro? Where was the signal, bro? No, that's clean though. That's pretty nasty. That is pretty nasty being long from down there. It's a wonderful job. That is a wonderful job, unlike all the jobs that I had growing up. But this was nice. I like that. A little 1 hour imbalance here. Right here. I could see this fucking launching. Not that I'm trying to get you excited about your trade. It's your trade. But Jordan's going to be here on Friday. We planned it for Friday. Sorry. Because he streams on Tuesday. For a company which name we shall not mention. But I think we have something for Friday, but I'll reconfirm that and let you know for Wednesday. Was good, easy. Shorted euro today, but I'm out on break even. Mark, I'm going to talk about that as well. Conditions. If you go back to Sunday and what I posted about the S&P, you're going to understand a little bit about euro in terms of the range. Remember, you got to study the ranges. Okay. When we look at ranges, every piece is important. Every portion of a range is important. Okay. I think a lot of people overlook that. You don't just, there's the high, there's the low, this is where we're at. Okay, cool. Like, bro, that's myopic. There's way more information than that. Okay. But I'll go over it if I can remember to do that. Yeah, Beverly, I'd love to see guests on here as well. Dude, it took me a long time to edit this video. I did a video with a woman named Taylor. And that will... The power was it was flickering on and off yesterday, so I only got like half the captions done, and I saved it because I didn't want to lose it. So I'm going to try and finish the second half of the captions today, and then I'll put that out maybe this week or next week. So we had a live, lovely conversation about a bunch of shit, which is really cool. So it's almost an hour long. And that's with editing. So it was great. But I will do a little bit of promotion for that. So there you have it. But yeah, British pound versus the yen. See, this is how much I'm not used to looking at this shit. I would want to see a run into the 40s. So I'd want to see like a 20, 25 pip dip and then absolutely dominate to the upside. But if we don't get it, we don't get it. What's good, Stephanie? What's good, Lucas? Or no, Lucas, you've been in here. But what's good again? Would you still journal your trades if every trade so far has been a banger? Yeah. You journal the bangers, you journal the ones you'd rather not look at. You know what I mean? You got to. You got to journal, my friends. Now, this is a physical journal. Okay. You know, it's got a little pen in there and I write shit down. Now, what I mean by Also, journaling is your binder, dude. You gotta have a binder. Futures trading, time price context 2023. And you know what? Just before the stream started, I printed off another cover for 2024. So yeah, you got to do that. It doesn't matter, you know. I haven't done JP Morgan yet because I'm not done with it, but I guess I could. But yeah, especially like day trades and swing trades. Yeah, oh yeah, you got to journal, my friend. What's good, Willow? So yeah, Euro GPY, it wouldn't make sense if we didn't take all these highs. GJ, I think, has upside potential. And then, so let's talk about euro and British pound and even dollar for just a minute. We'll start off with the dollar because dollar is arguably the most important asset there is to analyze in trading. All right. So when we look at our current range, the most immediate range on the daily, well, outside of this, like outside of Friday, because obviously price is within this small range, but zoom out, okay? And what I'm saying is this high to this low, okay? This is the high prior to this massive sell-off. This is the only low, you know, trading higher. So when we look at our current range, notice where we're at. Notice where price is right now, 102.46 and a half. Where is that located relative to the range? Where's it at? You have a high, midpoint, 50%, and then you have a low. Where is price this very moment? This is live price, okay? Hey, 60 viewers, let's go. Let's go. I tell you what, if we can get to 75, I'll give away a 10K challenge. How about that? If we can get to 75, I'll drop a 10K challenge. But that'll be a Twitter post. So you have to comment on Twitter, and then I'll do that on Wednesday. So the giveaway will be tomorrow. But if we can get to 75 today, tomorrow, I'll give away a 10K Liquid Trader challenge, my friends. Which reminds me to put that back up there. All right. Been in Florida working, but happy to be back and tapped in. Let's go. Dante says 50%. Naruto says premium. Beverly says, I'm going to go buy a binder. I know you've talked about it before, but I'm so stuck on which method of journaling I want to do. Listen, journaling anything is better than journaling nothing at all. But a journal is different from a binder. I think we use the word journaling interchangeably with writing and printing off charts. I think, you know what I'm saying? And that's not right. So there's a distinct difference between journaling and then printing off charts. You should do both, in my opinion. Mario says around 50%. Naruto says 50%. Shurin says equilibrium. Fancy words. Fancy words. Akinola says price is at 50%. Right. Okay. So, yes, price is at 50%. So what does that mean? What does that mean? What happens at 50%? What happens? Almost every range, almost every time frame, but especially the higher time frames, what happens at and near 50%? Which is more like maybe 45 to 55%, like roughly. Consolidates, range, consolidation, It's likely to consolidate slash range. I like that. Consolidation builds liquidity. Consolidation. Okay. Yeah. So if you guys are not aware, I've been teaching for a long time and I always get new students, so it's hard for me to, teach everybody the same. But if you're not aware, okay, in ranges, especially higher time frame ranges, weekly, daily, when price gets to 50%, you can expect consolidation. Now, will you see 50% and then price continue to run and it doesn't consolidate at 50%? Well, yeah, if it's reaching for something on a higher time frame, yeah, you won't see that. But look at Friday last week. You saw that? We traded into an imbalance and ran up into a gap and hit the higher end of a weekly imbalance and then traded off of it and created a fucking inception candle, okay? Created a spinning top, no clear, it's not an up can. I mean, it is an up close candle, but it's not really anything that's clear, right? And then what happened yesterday? We had an inside day. Well, just like me, I spent all day inside because it was raining yesterday. Price action also had an inside day. What that means, the way that I understand it, if I do, Friday's low and Friday's high. Okay. Monday did not trade below Friday's low and it did not trade above Friday's high, excuse me. So we spent the day inside of the current range of Friday, right? Yesterday was an inside day. Look at today. Okay. What happened today? And when you have consolidation, what type of environment does that do? Like, what can you expect in the middle of consolidation? Naruto says, highs and lows get built and ran. What's good, George? Okay. So, and just to recap this, in ranges, larger ranges, when price consolidates, it will typically happen at 50%. While you're in consolidation, meaning like right now, while you're in consolidation, price tends to run stops and then trade back into the range. Okay? Seek and destroy, search and destroy, whatever have you. So let me see. Can we do... I always forget where this is at. Because they move it. Where's the session breaks on here? You guys know where this shit is at? They always move shit around when they don't need to. There it is. Under events. That's fucking retarded. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to wake up, okay? So, in consolidations, okay, look at what has taken place. All right? Look at all this in here. Highs ran back into the range. Lows ran back into the range. Some highs cleared back into the range. Lows cleared back into the range. A high right here cleared a little bit back into the range to some degree. Okay. So it's going to run highs, going to run lows, trade back into the range. Consolidations are ideal for Y slime models. Everyone says stay away from consolidations. They stay away because they don't know how to fucking trade. Okay. Consolidations are great for buying below old lows or shorting above old highs. Okay. We go to, oh no, you said euro. One of you said euro earlier. Okay. So the dollar index and euro are going to almost be inverted of each other. Okay? Almost inversions of each other. So you're going to see the same thing. Low, swept, back into the range. Thursday's high was ran on Friday, swept, back into the range. Same ideas. Some lows here, swept. Some highs here, swept. And then look at yesterday's low. Okay, with that obviously straight line. We swept that. Came back into the range a little bit. So it's a little bit hard for me to want to long this here, because we do have like some highs at 109.52 and we took out yesterday's low. But I don't know, the way that we did this there, if you think back to yesterday, and I just posted a YouTube short about this as well, about a shift or a change in price delivery. We saw that on the S&P and the indices very clearly yesterday in the beginning of the AM session. We don't have that here. It's like very spaced out. There's no immediate like trading into down candles. Like it leaves the low and then trades into an imbalance and then runs. But it doesn't show me like a clear and obvious shift in price delivery. So I just don't really care for how we did that. Like I don't care for how we made this low today. So I'm a little bit hesitant to want to long this. Does that make sense? Now, when it comes to euro, and this is why I said there's a lot of work to do here, okay? Because if you're going to look at euro, you got to look at dollar. And because they're so closely inversely correlated, what I also would need to do is look at British pound. Okay? And we don't see the same thing over in pound. We don't see the same thing. Let's go back to euro. Euro left some equal or almost equal highs. We took out Monday's low today. British pound hasn't done that. Monday's low is here. We haven't taken Monday's low for British pound. So, it just doesn't seem right. Something does not seem right here to long either one of these. So just because price took out a previous day's low, that doesn't mean it can be a buy. It can go down there and keep trading lower. It is always said that America is one of the largest tax havens in the world. Do you agree with that? I don't know, Lucas. I don't know. What I do know is if you're going to think about like a macro view like that, I don't think this has to do anything related to a tax haven, but interest rate differentials, which I'm not going to really teach you about today, but price seeks yield. Okay. Money is going to be put where there is yield. And this is why interest rate differentials are disgusting in a macro view, because let's go back to British pound for just a minute. I mean, GJ for just a minute. I taught this years ago. And let me just take everything off. And some of my students are going to remember this. Some of you don't, and that's okay. I don't remember specifically what day it was, but it was sometime in 2022. It was sometime in 2022 or early 2021. I talked about British pound and yen and how their interest rates are not the same. And British pound has an interest rate that is higher than the yen. And you can see clearly what that means in the long term. From March of 2020 This is just the low. We swept lows and traded higher. But, you know, this is traded 5,300 and some change pips to the upside. Now, mind you, that took a couple years to do. But in a macro view, interest rate differentials would tell you only long GBP JPY. Or at least if you're going to long, hold a small piece in case you catch a runner, that's going to be a couple hundred pips. But that's the only real way that I look at a macro view like that. But I don't think that has to do anything with tax havens. Cameron says City of London is the tax haven goat. Well, there's your answer. Roman Empire became the Catholic Church, and the Vatican, the British Empire, became the City of London, and the British financial system. UK's biggest export and primary industry is financial services. Thank you, Cameron, for the history lesson. There's your answer. So, not bad. All right, so if we come back to the ranges for just a minute, look at where GJ is at in its range. Look where it's at in its range. Just like dollar index, just like the euro, it is where? Right at 50%. Right at 50%. 183 and a half. So, and I did post, I think I posted this in the Discord. If I didn't, then I totally forgot. But there are some daily highs at 184.32. And that has not been taken. Okay. It looks like it, but it hasn't. It stopped short like 2 pips. But what do you see? Monday did what? Took out Friday's low, traded back into the range. Today, what did it do? Ran yesterday's low and then traded back into the range, right? It's consolidating around 50% of the overall range. So this, okay, the 184.32 level is internal range liquidity. There's liquidity that's within the range in a premium. So this to me makes a lot more sense when you look at it from the higher time frame, and then you go down to the smaller time frame and you go, oh, well, 184.30, that's also equal highs on a small time frame. Yeah. So the daily makes sense to trade up here. The smaller time frames also make the case for wanting to trade up there. So then we get our sweep during New York, our New York and London overlap, trade higher, imbalance, we trade higher. And then that to me again is a minute ago why I was telling you I think we could come back into that. I would have much rather have seen that get traded into and then launch up to 184 and a half, maybe even 185. So are you see how, or are you starting to see how all of this makes sense? I know I asked you that yesterday to put it all together. Now, specifically with, let's say, GJ or EJ, right? Euro yen. That's a little bit different than GJ, and you can do relative strength here too, but what is a little bit more ideal as well is the futures, okay? So it's going to be British pound futures, and then it's going to be yen futures. So if you want a bullish GJ, you would ideally want a bullish British pound and a bearish yen. At a minimum, bullish British pound and maybe consolidation yen. That would also push DJ higher. But in an ideal world, you want to pair a strong currency with a weak currency. It was episode 19, which I may or may not have on a Google Drive somewhere. What was it called? Pipaholics Anonymous. Please trade responsibly. I have that on a Google Drive somewhere. Yeah. You thought that shit was lost forever. No. 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 You think I'm gonna put a presentation together and not have that bitch somewhere? Oh no. It exists, my friends. It exists. But anyway, the whole point is you want to trade. If you're gonna trade like this, meaning cross pairs and shit like that, I don't have anything against you, but it's more work. Going into the futures, finding a weak currency, finding a strong currency, pairing them together, analyzing that cross pair by itself, looking at dollar, do we have a correlation there or intermarket analysis there? Oh, Nikki, people have always been doing that. Who do you think taught the educators there? Yeah, funny. I should get some fucking royalties, huh? If I taught people that are teaching other people, shouldn't I get royalties? I should be entitled to royalties, right? Or is that ship has sailed, huh? That ship has sailed, hasn't it? Those motherfuckers. But it's all good, man. I don't want to short indices today. This almost looks like a short, but I wouldn't short this. I will watch it though, I'll tell you that. So Dow deep within its range. Nasdaq, it is lower. It's our strongest index today. But you see what I'm saying? Like, so the Nasdaq has reached into like these down candles here, but the S&P has not. So I'm just trying to figure out if we are going to be bearish from here. The lows on Nasdaq to me are just more clean. Right here. Like this little area right here. A little bit of a general consolidation prior to, oh no, that is equities open actually. So we have a consolidation / equal lows, like low resistant lows at equities open. So this could be a short. But again, this is our strongest. I don't feel right shorting it. But I'll watch it. Thank you, Beverly. I appreciate that. Yeah, like what's his name? Starboy. He had made that short on the true imbalance. And I'm just like, damn, bro. Man showed no credit. None. Oh, I've never seen your work, bro. Okay. Okay. You're right. Some shit I put out in 2019. You know? Just laughable, man. It is laughable. But I try to not, talk about other people too much, but y'all brought it up. Y'all brought it up, not me. Is that a mitigation candle on the daily for Nasdaq? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. That's a large range, though, I'd say that. Remember yesterday, we were talking about the Nasdaq and what it could aim for? What could it have aimed for? This imbalance, and then, yeah, we traded right up into that. Beautifully. Beautifully. But yeah, that's a large mitigation, dude. Look at that range. Look at that range, bro. That's fucking ridiculous. So, I mean, it looks like it, but I'm not going to short this. You know what else makes me not want to short too? Is ES. Even though, because of 480, 41, 48.41, maybe 48.50. Equal highs up here. And a general consolidation from the end of the year. So from the tail end of December, beautiful consolidation, chef's kiss, equal highs, came down into that daily imbalance. We saw that bullish price action yesterday, minor retracement. So to me, on an intraday basis, it might sell off, sure, but on a higher time frame from like this, from this framework here, oh no, this looks like a long. You know what I mean? This looks like a long. So I would rather probably not do anything unless it was an intraday scalp. Seasonal British Pound Futures looks great for longs as well. Thank you, Felix. Yeah, I just got my MRCI seasonal data. Seasonal data. What have you heard good or bad about Top Step so far? I haven't really heard anything bad about Top Step other than they have some pretty restrictive rules, but I've heard good things about them. You thought bro was trade house too? No. No. Why do you think I was one of the only ones who can reference who I learned from, but none of them reference who they learned from? Why do you think people would keep that a secret? Because they would be outright fucking embarrassed if they told you guys who they learned from. Because it would be me or Trade House. Or maybe some others too, but there's a reason they don't tell you. Essentialism, Greg McKeown. You got to listen to what people say, but also what they don't say. Clown activities 101. Clown behavior 101. Okay. But anyways, that's what I have for GJ. That's what I have for, let's come back to that. If you want to put an alert up there, you can, for EJ at 157, maybe even 158 if you round up. That would be fine too. But I'm going to put an alert on that. GJ, I may not expect this today, but at some point in the future, I'm going to put an alert on 184.32, 35 maybe. So I think upside for EJ. I think obviously upside for EJ. And then for our index futures side, again, probably not today, but 48, 41 and a half is a potential upside objective, which makes me not want to short on an intraday basis, even though Nasdaq looks like it could short after taking Monday's high. I'm not with it, bro. I'm not with it. It looks like a short, but I don't think it is. Just like Epictetus talks about, impressions Don't let the force of an impression knock you off your feet. Say to it, hold on. Who are you? Let me see what you represent. I must put you to the test. So although it gives the impression of a short, yeah, high, low, higher high above day, yesterday's high, break of structure. Oh, that could be a short. It could be. But I don't think that's what today is. I don't think that's what today is. I've learned a few things from Jordan, but a lot of what is in, and look, I'm not trying to shit on anybody in Treehouse. Okay, you guys know this. Those are my boys. But if you go look at the sniper course, a lot of what I brought to the table was different from anyone else in really in the entire company. But it's not to say I didn't learn anything from him, but I learned more about macro view from Jordan than intraday trading. And I learned more about business and teamwork from Jordan than price action. So I think Jordan is more of a, if I were to tell you that Jordan is a mentor of mine, it would be more in the business side of things than price action. And he put me onto this book. I got to go read it, but I haven't read it yet. So, and I agree, Hadar. Is it true that you were recognized as the best customer by a broker? Felix, I don't even know what that means. What is that? I don't even know what that is. You go sell some expensive ass courses with that trade house, taught them, making 6 figures off people, shaking my head. Scammer's gonna scam, bro. That's the scam or be scammed lifestyle. Can't get my head around why people can't give credit to where it's due. Now I feel old. Things were different way back. Shit, sounds like my old man now. Well, we always end up becoming our dad, or if you're a woman, our mom, right? We always become our parents, right? Or if they're a good parent, I would hope. But we always start to pick up on habits that our parents had, right? But no, it's just people want clout, people want credibility without earning it. People want clout and credit without earning it. It's why I mentioned that yesterday in my story on let me see. This is didn't plan on doing this today, but I guess we can go over it. Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David. Okay. Patrick Bet-David. Great guy, awesome story. He left Iran as a young child to come to America. And he's wildly successful. And shit, I may not have it now. Oh, look at that. Like, didn't trade off that mitigation. If I can't find this, I might have to use my phone. I read the second half of this book 2 days ago. So I read a bunch of shit. I might just have to look at my phone, to be honest. But basically, oh, here we go. I found it. Let me read this to you real quick. Oh, S&P came back a little bit, huh? But yeah, even this, like right here, that's an imbalance within a potential mitigation. But even then, I don't think that's the mitigation model at all. I don't think so. I don't see it that way. The setup, yes, but within the higher time frame framework of those equal highs up here, this does not make sense to short. Okay. But let me read this to you real quick before we hop off here. Lucas, I'm gonna get to everyone's question in just a minute, or the chat in just a minute. But let me just read this to you. Now this, never mind. I was thinking of something else. Anyway, if you have Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David on page 181, he talks about the 4 hazardous G's: greed, gluttony, girls/guys, and gambling. So he writes, temptation gets the best of many of us. How many people have destroyed their careers and their lives because of gambling? But it doesn't have to be a common vice such as gambling, drinking, or drugs. Some people have vices attached to money. They are either miserly or they spend like drunken sailors. Been there before. As a result, they either fail to make the right investments in technology or people, or they spend foolishly and can't sustain their operations. Here it is. Some people's vices is arrogance. Everything is about them. Underline. They fail to give other people credit and hog both the spotlight and the money from the business. Sooner rather than later, those around them figure it out and the top talent leaves. That's what I shared yesterday. But it goes on to say, cheating is also a vice, and it's one to which some entrepreneurs are particularly vulnerable. Early in my career, I was competing for customers with Larry, and he goes off in this other story, but he goes on, he continues, and it's another subchapter of this chapter, but he says, the 5 deadly sins of entrepreneurs. Now pay attention to this shit. The 5 deadly sins of entrepreneurs. 1, being too cheap. That's me. Or splurging unwisely. Number 2, letting the wrong people have influence over you. Number 3, having a royalty mentality. Number 4, refusing to adapt. And number 5, obsessively comparing yourself to others. Who does that sound like to you? Who does that sound like to you? So, you know, these are the types of things that you guys did not, I did not publicly at the time tell you guys that all this shit was going down. But while it was going down, I was saying everything on an internal basis. Like internally, I was saying, hey, this is not right that we're being fucked over. This is not right that I haven't gotten any pay increases in 2 fucking years. This is not right that this one dude doesn't even stream and yet he's getting the biggest cut out of what we got going on. This shit ain't right, bro. Now, I'm not going to tell the customers that. You know, that's not really something that you shouldn't, you know, air out your dirty laundry. But we're not at the same laundromat anymore, are we? So all this shit was going down and I was telling them, bro, this ain't right. This isn't cool. And you know what happened, bro? Nobody gave a fuck. So anyway, there's my rant for today. How do you deal with people who how do you deal with people who put obstacles in your way, even though they are your family or relatives? Well, Lucas, that one's hard, but you gotta just do what you gotta do, man. It's happened to me before too, but you know what? This might seem kind of shady. I don't know if it is or not, to be honest, but if you do what's right, if you always do what's right, you'll never be the one to blame. And if you're never the one to blame, then how can it be your fault? So Marcus Aurelius told himself in Meditations, just that you do the right thing, tired or well rested, despised or loved, it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. This is what Marcus told himself. He said, nothing else matters. It's just that you do the right thing. If they don't like me, that's their problem. But my job is to do my best. My job is to remain purple, undiminished. So you just got to do your best, man. And sure, it'll be your family or friends that get in the way. But you got to decide, man, is this shit for you or is it not? Is it for you or is it not? Everybody ain't going to be for you, bro. I tried to put a ton of people onto trading the last few years. I post on Twitter. I post on Facebook. I post everywhere. JP Morgan, the low of the year. Low of the year. Twice. Silver. Both lows of 2023. Both lows of 2023. I try to get people into this stuff. Hell, I'm even giving out free signals. All you had to do was fucking buy the shit. All you had to do was buy. People don't listen. People don't listen, bro. And they would let their ego get the best of them. They'd rather do it themselves. Trade's about to happen? Yeah. Him and Siva talk about that one, but I haven't read it. Don't have to tell them everything, nor are you obligated to engage. Choose your conversations wisely. Oh yeah. They did not care, John. It was about the money. Oh, it's always about the money, dude. It's always about the money, dude. If it's not about the money, it's about reputation or clout. But, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What's in the realm of my control? Making you guys aware. Like if my neighbor's house was on fire, good luck to you. I'm going to call the fire department. I can do that. I'll try and get them here as soon as possible. That's in my realm of control. I'll get them here fast. But you know what I'm saying? I can make you guys aware. I can make you pay attention. But I can't tell you who to subscribe to. I can't tell you where to spend your money. You want to overpay for education? Be my fucking guest. You want to underpay for education? Come here, be my guest. I don't care. I'm indifferent because I cannot control that. If I'm not for myself, who will be for me? If I'm only for myself, who am I? Alex coming in with the deep questions today. I forgot which philosopher that was, but yeah. That's one thing I wish I could have done too. It would have been really cool to have a philosophy channel. Because look, this is gonna hurt some of you, but I gotta say this. I've been waiting to say this for a long time. And honestly, you might be offended, but I'm gonna say this anyway. I don't have anything against Bob Proctor, but I think bringing on Bob Proctor was a mistake. I think Bob Proctor was a mistake from the jump. I think it was a mistake. I know a lot of you like Bob Proctor. I get that. I still think it was a mistake. It should have been someone like John Maxwell. I heard he was at another, business or whatever. Okay, I understand. But someone like him, maybe one of his people, someone who has a Maxwell leadership, whatever the fuck. Or someone like Ryan Holiday. Ryan probably wouldn't have done it because he obviously wants to spend time with his family. But it should have been someone like Ryan Holiday who can teach a more practical approach to personal development that would also help your trading versus Bob Proctor. That's just my 2 cents. Pressure to bring in people and no help and really improve my trading skills. Yeah. Thank you, Felix. Stephanie said podcast. Oh, I'm not going to say anything right now, Stephanie, but am I myself going to start a podcast? No. Do I know people who want to start one? Yes. But yeah, I have to really be careful on the things that I say, because I can really cut pretty deep if I wanted to. I could cut pretty fucking deep if I wanted to. But if I founded Smart Money Stoics, right? I founded this community. And how would that reflect on me if someone who is supposed to be stoic, comes out and just does something like call people out and, talk a bunch of shit like all the time? That wouldn't be a good reflection of me or the community. So I try not to do shit like we did today. But you guys brought it up, so that's your fault. But no, seriously. Like The Secret and Law of Attraction, whatever. There's some content on the internet you guys should watch. You should just YouTube it. There's some really good videos out there on the Law of Attraction and why it's not what you think it is. The supposed science behind it, it's undisputable, right? Which, it's not good, I'm telling you. And that goes against a lot of what was in my last company. You can be anything you want to be. You can have everything you want. Yeah, the Stoics would tell you, you're a fucking retard. They wouldn't tell you that, but they'd be like, you can't have everything you want. That's outside the realm of your control. Which is true. So, I told you some of you might not like what I have to say, but that's how I look at it. Am I still doing stock options? Yeah, of course, Omar. A part of me wants to long the S&P. Tesla's down 2%. Oh, man. Oh, man. Heavy drawdown, baby. Heavy drawdown. So it was looking good back in December. And this pullback is not, I don't like it. I don't like it. The part of me wants to long S&P because, again, I just showed you the highs, and then SPY has almost the same thing back in December. So am I going to long right now? I would rather not. If this just runs without me, then it runs without me. I think this morning would have been ideal to long for up here, because this looks pretty good. Retracement, and we're reacting to some degree, but right now, I'm not going to do anything with this. So, but yeah, like, listen, if you really want some insight onto how I got to these conclusions, okay, this is what you should do. You want to know why I recommend people like Ryan Holiday? Stillness is the key. Discipline is destiny. Ego is the enemy. Courage is courage was all right, but the rest of his work, phenomenal. You want to know why? You want to know why Stoic philosophy has made a comeback in recent years? You want to know why I labeled this community Smart Money Stoics? You want to know why? This is what you need to do. Okay? At the end of every conversation you have, at the end of every live stream, at the end of every lesson, okay? All of them, conversations, videos, books, meetings, shit like that. At the very end, when it's over, you need to ask yourself, what did I learn? What did I take away from this? And you know what's going to happen? You're going to get to the realization that some people speak but say nothing. They'll talk your ear off like I do sometimes, and then end up saying nothing. Or at least nothing that helps you out. You know that dude, what's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson, Neil Tyson deGrasse, the aerospace engineer or whatever the fuck, astrophysicist. That dude is the epitome of word salad. Oh, if the world suddenly stopped spinning, we would all fucking die. And it's like, bro, that is, to me, that's just useless knowledge. Oh, it's not that the waves or that the water line goes up and down, it's that the earth shifts. Who fucking cares? That does not tell anybody anything, you know? So if you want to be a trader, if you want to, dive into personal development, you need to start asking yourself those questions. Even same thing on a podcast. What did I learn from this? Oh, well, I learned if the earth stops rotating, I'm fucking dead. Okay, well, who didn't know that going into it? And you're going to think to yourself, wow, this was a waste of time. Hello. Yeah, it was. So when you start asking yourself, what did I learn? You're going to realize that a lot of the shit that's out there does not actually help you. When you ask yourself, what did I learn after watching a live stream that I do or any previous video that I do, you get book recommendations, you know what to read. I'm teaching you price action so you know what you're looking for. I'm giving you targets in advance so you know where the market is likely to go, and you can watch it go there, or you can watch it not go there if I'm wrong. What do you get from Ryan Holiday's books? Stillness is the key. You get a lot of ideas on how to achieve, some level of tranquility or stillness. You learn in Discipline is Destiny, you learn to clean your fucking room. That's one I remember off the top of my head. That stuck out to me more than anything else from that one. But, you learn practical ideas, something that can be applicable today. Why do you think Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus are coming back? Because everything that they talk about is practical. Strict with yourself, tolerant with others, says Marcus. That's easy. That doesn't need a 60-minute conversation. It's cut and dry to the point. Marcus, be strict with yourself, but be tolerant with everybody else. Epictetus, dichotomy of control. what can I control? That's what I'm going to focus on. What can I not control? That's what I'm not going to worry about too much or worry about at all. It's practical. Seneca says, what? We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. What does that mean? Don't overthink. Journal. Simple ideas. Why do you think I can remember a lot of this stuff off the top of my head? Because it's short and it's practical and it's applicable. You can go away using this information. And if you're listening to people that cannot do that for you, you're listening to the wrong people. Mia, I don't flip through that one the same way that I flip through the $8 one. And I agree, Lucas. At the end of the day, the only important thing is that you can still look yourself in the mirror and be okay with the decisions that you made. Well, a lot of people can't do that. Self-reflection is difficult for a lot of people. It's very difficult for a lot of people because they can't do that. It's too hard. It's too difficult. They don't want to. It hurts too much. Strengthens one's soul in the direction in which you want to go or be. Mia, you do need another $8 meditations because Lord have mercy. The one that you have looks like the original. I mean, oh my God. That one went through World War I and II. Somehow, some way. It's crazy. You should post that. You should post that to your story so everybody can see it. That book looks like it went through a 95-hour work week. You know what I'm saying? It's true. It's true. But no, the reason I'm saying that is because that's how books should be read. You should go through meditations like that. You should. Ryan even says this. This is the last thing I'll leave you with. Ryan Holiday put out a video 3 or 4 days ago. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Because I want you guys to view it. It's only like 10 or 12 minute video. Yeah, 3 days ago, he put out a book called he put out a video called How to Read Like Marcus Aurelius. It's right here. The transcript is kind of like fucking things up, but this is what that looks like. So always look for more. And then there's one in here. Let me see if I can find it. The marks aren't on here. One second. I know you guys can't hear it, but oh, right here. Beat books up. You see that? You see that? See, I know what I'm talking about sometimes. And then, so matter of fact, let me just share this with you real quick. Let me share this with you.
You should not feel shy about beating the hell out of the books that you read. As an author, I could tell you it's a sign that someone actually really respects the book. If it's pristine, if they're taking great care of it, that means they're not putting miles on it. I'll show you my copy of Meditations. Where is it? Look at this. I've had to tape the cover back on. It's filled with notes, different flags. I have marked almost every page of this book over the years. This is just one of several copies, but the point is, I'm engaging with the material and I'm showing Marcus how important this book is to me. Obviously, he's not actually alive, but I'm showing the author the ultimate measure of respect by disagreeing where I disagree, adding where I think it doesn't go far enough, underlining where I think it's great, and then taking the book with me, right? Taking it all over. This is why I made this leather edition, by the way. You can see I'm already beating the crap out of the leather edition I made. I wanted something that could stand up even better. I want something that can travel with me. That, like, this copy's been all over the world with me, and this copy has now, in the year since it's come out, been in quite a few places, in a lot of backpacks, a lot of suitcases. It's gotten wet at the beach, it's gotten wet by the pool, I've spilled food on it. But the point is, a great reader respects the book by not respecting the book.
There it is. A reader respects a book by disrespecting the book. I think that's what he said. Close enough. Did you guys like that? So that's why I make fun of your book, because it's so beat up. It shows that, just like Ryan, you took it with you to work. You probably slapped some of your coworkers with it. I don't blame you. You know, they need it, right? And it shows that you know what's in the content. I would have slapped my coworkers. I never had coworkers that were fun at all. None of them. Especially when they became a manager. They became a manager and it became a name we are not going to say. So anyway, these highs up here ended up just creating equal highs. So that's lovely. British pound is, or excuse me, GJ is back into this. So this I would expect to trade higher. And if it doesn't, then I guess I would be wrong. But that looks pretty okay. That looks pretty okay. But anyway, I don't want to make this too long. Y'all be good. We'll be back here on Wednesday. Tomorrow, same time, same place. So, see y'all tomorrow.